MimamsuPro is a desktop application to create data object relationship map of relational database, create data set from relational database using the map, as well as create and append statistic to the data set and subset or filter the data set. So let's walk through the application with an example. In this example, we have two databases on SnowFlake. SnowFlake sample data and MimamsuPro. In MimamsuPro, we have two schemas, MimamsuSF1 and MyDB. We'll use MyDB schema to store datasets, analysis, and subset tables, and we'll map tables and views in TPCHSF1 and MimamsuSF1 as objects and attributes. For example, we'll map orders table as orders data object, customer table as customer data object, RSX cust XX orders table as cust XX orders relationship data object, which relates orders and customer data objects. Now let's start application. We'll open Dome Studio and create a new data object relationship map. Select MyDB as my database space, where we'll be storing data sets, analysis, and subset tables. And we'll select MimamsuSF1 and TPCHSF1 schemas. First, we'll create data objects. We selected customer table and static attributes table for customer data object. Select customer key as the data object ID column. Similarly, we'll create orders data object. And we'll create a relationship data object relating the two objects we created. If you look at the map, it has the two data objects we created as well as the relationship data object relating the two data objects. We can also view the details of an object by selecting it. So in this case, it shows table and columns mapped as customer data object. Similarly, we'll map other tables and columns as data object, relationship data objects, and lookup objects. So we'll pause the video and do that. So if you view the map now, so we have 4 data objects and 6 relationship data objects relating the 4 data objects, as well as we have lookup object added to customer and 2 lookup object added to part supply data object. Now we'll create a store using the map. Go back to main menu, create a new store. Created successfully. So we'll open the store. create a new selection, say order data. For that we'll select customer name, total price, and order detail quantity. Run the selection. Selection run completed successfully. So now we'll work with the data set. So open the data set. So the data set contains the elements we selected as well as the ID of the data objects from which we selected the elements. In this case, customer orders and order details IDs. We can also do statistical analysis on the data set. Let's say we create order quantity, we'll do a sum of order quantity by orders. So we formulated and added the statistic to the list. Now we'll run the statistic. It has been saved in a table. Open and view it. So we have the order quantity by order numbers. We can append the statistic to the data set. So the statistic has been appended to the data set. It contains now the statistics as well as the originally selected elements. We can also create other statistics using the statistic we just created and other elements. So for example, we create order size using the case statement where we'll say when order quantity is less than 75, order size is small, order quantity is greater than or equal to 75, and order quantity is less than equal to 150, then medium, else large. Add the statistic and run it. We'll append the test statistic as well. So now the data set contains the two statistics we created as well as the originally selected elements. The data set has the ID columns, the elements we selected, and the statistics appended. We can also view the object relationship summary of the data set. So the summary shows at the top total number of objects. For example, in this case we have 1.5 million orders, 150,000 customers, 6 million and 1215 order details instances. At the bottom it shows from the left to right in descending order all combinations of objects or other related object counts. So in this case we have 1.5 million orders, 996 customers, and 6 million 1215 order details instances related to each other. And we have 50,004 customer instances which are not related to orders or order details. In other words, we have 50,004 customer which has not placed any order. We can also view any subset of the summary. For example, if we select customer, then it shows us the 50,004 customers which are not related to order details. It also adds the subset to the data set tool where we can save or export the subset as well. So if we go to data set tool now, the subset has been added. You can preview it, as well as we can save it as a table. We can also export the subset as a CSV file. We can export to SnowFlake staging area, or we can download it to the local computer. So if we download it to the local computer, so the subset has been downloaded. So there are two files downloaded. One is the data file and one is metadata file, which for the data file. So if we minimize the application, we look at the data file, 50,004 customers, and the metadata file contains the details about the two columns. So in this case, A1C name and C cust key. If you look at the metadata file, so in IQ ATTR name column contains the column names from the data file and all the metadata related to those two columns in the data file. In terms of the table, database and tables it comes from, as well as in terms of objects and attributes type. Also whether it's like a column is a key column or rather ID column or a regular column. We can also rerun the selection, which will pull the data again. So in case periodically when the data is refreshed and if we rerun the selection, it will pull the data again, do the statistics and create the subset as well. So let's say we do the rerun. It prompts for a new description if you want to. In this case we'll add version 2. The rerun completed successfully. So if we look at the reruns data set, it is open, or rather pulled the data again, created the and appended the statistics, as well as created the subset. That's the end of video.